Kadosh Boker Or Mishna Yomi Masechet Bava Kamma Perek Tet, the 9th chapter, Mishnah Bet and Gimel, Mishnah 2 and 3. We're going to start with Mishnah Bet. Gazal behema vizkina. If someone steals an animal and it becomes old, avadim vizkin, or they stole a slave and the slave becomes old. That means obviously he was by him for a while, right? Mishalem keshat gizla. He steals at the time of the robbery. Why? But since when he stole him, right, at the end of the day, right? That means 9-2, 2 and 3, right? We just said that since right now when you stole it, they changed physically to become older and weak, but still, when you acquired them, they're yours now. So therefore, he pays what they were worth at the time of the robbery when they were strong. Okay, Rabbi Meir comes and he says, "Ba'avadim omer lecha aresh shelcha lefanecha." He says if it's an eved, he just says aresh shelcha lefanecha. You know what aresh shelcha lefanecha is? This is yours. Take it. This is yours. Take it. Take it. So according to Shitat Rabbi Meir, you don't legally, it's not possible to steal a slave and acquire him. So he's always the property of the owner. So all you have to say is, this is your property, take it. Kach. Gazal matbea v'nistak. What happens if you stole a coin and it became cracked? Or perot, virkivu. Or again, fruits, and they became rotten. Yain v'chmitz. Wine, it became vinegar. Meshalmin keshata gizela. Again, you're always going to pay at the time of the gizela. Why? Because even though these articles, they change in your property, and since it's yours, so therefore that's it. Okay, so therefore you have to actually come and you have to pay for the original thing. Meaning you're not going to say, listen, I'm sorry, it became vinegar, it's not my fault, it's yours. So tough luck on you. No, slicha, that's the way it is. You have to pay for the beginning time. Matbea v'nisal, if the coin was disqualified, meaning not cracked, before one is nistak. Nistak is a sedek. Now we're talking about nifsal. Nifsal just means become disqualified. Many times it comes out of currency. Exactly. Bullet out of currency. You have a King Charles, and then now it's going to become the next one. You continue going. Truma v'nitmet, or truma, and then it becomes tameh. Chametz v'avlav pesach. Chametz and past pesach. Behema v'nevida b'avida. Behema and a navida was done to it, right? Or shenifsela me'agamizach, became disqualified for going into the bed on the mizbeach. Or shaita yotzet yisrakel, was going to be taken out to be stoned because obviously he killed a human being. Omerlo, you could say, in all these cases that the change is not obvious, so it's not considered that change in the robber's property, and therefore the robber could just say, here it is, take it back. Meaning in the first case, you could see the change from far, and since you could see the change from far and it happened in the possession now of the robber, so therefore the robber has to pay keshata gezela. In all the second cases, which all these cases, it's not nikar, it's not recognizable. So therefore, since it's not recognizable, I'm going to say, listen, it happened in the robber's possession, meaning obviously he stole it, but technically speaking, there was nothing really that changed. Since there was nothing really that changed, so now he just says, this is yours. Obviously, again, it's going to be disqualified, and the tameh, or chametz shaval pesach, or the animal, or all these other things, but at the end of the day, right, he does not have to pay from the beginning. Right? The Mishnah number 3. Okay, Mishnah number 3 comes and it says like this. Okay, Natan lo manin letaken v'kilkelu. Imagine right now you come and you give something to a craftsman, to an expert. It could be you gave a car and they destroyed it. You give a watch and the watchman broke it. You give it to shatnez and they destroy the suit. You give it to a tailor, destroy the suit. You could give basically you gave it to a professional, and he came and he destroyed the utensil.
He owns it. He bought it.
So chayavim l'shalem. He's obligated to pay the value of the utensil. I will never forget that I had a friend that he was learning shatnez. What happened was he wanted to learn. So what did he do? He went to Venezuela, and what happened was he started practicing. So he went to the house of a rich guy, and he started doing all these things. Right, the worst thing that you could do. He went, and after working for I don't know how many days in a row. He worked for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. He went and he opened up a suit and he ruined the suit. He wasn't able to fix it. It had the shatnez, and then he was not able to fix it. Balagan, bekitsur, the value of the suit was basically his work for the 2 weeks or something like that. It was something crazy, right? So therefore, so he basically didn't get paid. He worked for 2 weeks for free.
Happens.
So, so a person has to be careful.
Natan, you work for free, doctor?
Right? He comes and he says, Natan lecharash shida teva umigdal letaken. If one gives a carpenter a carriage, a box, or a closet to fix, right? That's the shidat, right? Shidat teva umigdal. right? The Charash is the carpenter. The Kilkel, he ruined it. Chayav l'shalem, he's obligated to pay, right? Since that's what he damaged, so he's obligated to pay for it. Now, obviously, again, we just mentioned this before, so he's just adding a simple thing that in order that there's a difference between the two cases, that the second case is that he's repairing a broken utensil. The first case is he's making a new one. Okay? Meaning, if I come and I tell you, listen, make for me a new chest, how do you call this thing? A chest, not a Mario, like whatever, like a, right, whatever, a cupboard, right? And now you break it, so that's new, and you broke it, it's yours. You already used the material that, listen, I'm sorry, I asked you for a cupboard, I asked you for bookcases, you destroyed it before, I don't know, nothing to do with me, that's not my problem, right? That's going to be number one. Number two is, I gave you something to fix, and then you ruined it. So there, again, right, you're going to have to pay for it.
Say that one more time. I missed the two cases.
The first case was that you're making a new item. So even though you put work and effort and material into it, if he didn't give you the item, he loses out. He has to pay for it, not you. I don't have to pay a penny. You're supposed to come and you're supposed to make me this bookcase.
Okay.
You started, you bought wood, and then in the middle you messed up. I'm gonna have to pay you a penny. You put work, you put material. I don't have to pay you a penny. Nothing. The second case was I gave you the bookcase to fix, and then you ruined it. You have to pay me for the bookcase. That's two different cases. Habanai, right, which is the banai. Banai is a builder that he accepts upon himself. He's supposed to knock down a wall. Now, what happened was he had to take down the wall and then put it back up. But what he did was he actually broke
They fell on people,
right, and
fell on
or right the
people.
blocks. And what happened was, or they caused damage, or Richard, right? Not both, right? He broke the stones or caused damage to somebody that was passing by, or whatever it is. Chayav l'shalem. He's obligated to pay for the damage, right, to the stones or the damage caused by the stones, right? Why? Because when he basically agreed to take it down, that's why nowadays they take insurance and take all these things. Why? Because when he agreed to do all these things, listen, everything's included. Hayat soter mitzad zeh v'nafal mitzad acher. What happens? He's taking it down from one side, right? And what happened is it fell from another side, meaning the other side of the wall collapsed. Sometimes that happens. You take down part of the wall, another wall breaks. Patur, you're going to be patur. Why? Because in such a case, he was not expected to realize that the other part of the wall was supported by the first one, and therefore, listen, you pay me to take down this wall, all of a sudden the entire thing comes down. Listen, there are certain things which are unforeseeable, and therefore it's going to happen, right? I remember I was moving a wall, and all of a sudden in part of the wall, there was all the electricals. So now they have to bring in an electrician to come to start moving. That's unforeseeable. You have to pay for it. You understand? That's it. So listen, okay? But he says if it was because of the blow to the first side, meaning that he basically went and he hit the first side too much, and that's what caused the second wall to come down, he's going to be chayav. Why? Because that he was the cause. If he's going to be the cause, obviously he's going to be chayav, right, in that case.